Hello, everyone. Today we are going to learn how to identify a gerund phrase and a present participle phrase. As you all know, gerund is a form of verb that acts like a noun in a sentence. It is formed by combining the base form of the verb with ing. For example, if I say walking, walk is the base form of the verb plus ing. So walking can come in a sentence as a gerund. On the other hand, present participle is a form of a verb that acts like a modifier and gives us extra information about the noun. Just like gerunds, it is also formed by combining the base form of the verb with ing. Again, walk plus ing can also act like a present participle in a sentence. To see an extended video on gerunds and participles, you can click on the link in the caption. And now, let us take an example to understand the difference between a gerund phrase and a participle phrase. Walking on the beach is painful if jellyfish has washed ashore. On carefully observing this sentence, we can see that the conjunction if is dividing the sentence into two different clauses. The first clause is walking on the beach is painful, and the second clause is jellyfish has washed ashore. We can see that in the first clause, the verb is acting like a linking verb connecting the subject to its complement painful. And in case of second clause, has washed is the verb where has is the helping verb and washed is the main verb. Now we all know that verbs usually do not come without their subjects. Only in imperative cases, we can say that verbs do not have their subjects mentioned, but otherwise, verbs always have their subjects attached to them. In this case, if we want to find out the subject of this linking verb, we need to ask two questions. Either of them we can ask. The first question is who plus verb, or we can also ask what plus verb. Now, in this case, if I ask what is painful, I get the answer walking on beach is painful. So, walking on beach becomes the subject of the verb is. Now, since it is a group of words, I can call it a phrase. And when a phrase acts like the subject of a verb, that particular phrase is called a noun phrase. Now, in this noun phrase, I can see this word walking, which is based from walk plus ing. Since it is acting like a subject, I will call it a gerund. And since this entire group of words are acting like a subject, I will call it a gerund phrase. Let us take another example to see whether walking on the beach is a gerund phrase or a participle phrase. In this sentence, we can see that we have used a relative pronoun that. And we all know that relative pronouns also act like conjunctions. See, apart from acting like a subject or an object in a sentence, they also act like a conjunction, dividing the sentence into two different clauses. So here, the first clause is walking on the beach, John dodged the jellyfish. And the second clause is had washed ashore. Considering the first clause, we can see that dodged is the verb here and had washed is the verb of the clause 2. As I've already mentioned, that verbs usually come with their subjects. So now we have to find out the subjects of both the verbs. Talking about the verb dodged, let us find out its subject. Again, we have to ask two questions: what plus verb or who plus verb? For example, if I say, who dodged the jellyfish? I clearly get the answer, John dodged the jellyfish. So John becomes my verb. John becomes the subject of the verb dodged. After finding the subject, on the left hand side, I can see a phrase walking on the beach. Clearly, this is not acting like subject. And we can also make it out that in this specific sentence, walking on the beach is giving me extra information about John. So it is acting like a modifier. It is acting like a participle phrase, giving me extra information about the subject. So I think it has become clear how to identify and differentiate between a gerund phrase and a participle phrase. So that's all for today. Bye for now.